Welcome to Happy Healthy Living with Yvonne Douglas. I'm Doug, and guess what I got in the mail today? I'm so excited. Julia Child, Mastering the Art of French Cooking. Oh my gosh, so I'm so excited to get this book. I heard, of course, great things about it, and they actually use this as, I think, a textbook at the Cordon Bleu in France, cooking school. And this, to me, I was kind of looking through it, and it's really not just recipes, it really teaches you how to cook the French way. So I love Julia Child. I remember growing up, actually it was in the 80s and 90s, of course, and I used to watch her on TV as a young kid and also as a young adult. And I used to love her shows, and also when she worked with Jacques Pepin. Pepin, I think is how you pronounce it. And I used to love watching their shows together. So I'm super excited about this. I will be reading this book, and because I'm always, I always want to improve my skills. I'm basically a home cook, learned everything I know from my mom pretty much. But I'm so excited to get this book, and this summer I'll be reading it and trying out some of these recipes too. And I'll probably do some of these recipes on Happy Healthy Living too. But today we are going to do one of her easy classic recipes, Croque Monsieur. And I don't think it's in this book. I was looking for it in this book. It could be in this book, but I haven't come across it yet. But I have seen it. She actually was on like many talk shows, and I've seen her do it before, and I just never tried it. But I'm going to try it today and make it and see what it tastes like. It's super easy. It seems super easy. It's almost like a grilled cheese sandwich. So stay tuned, and we're gonna make some Croque Monsieur à la Julia Child. Okay, so you wanna know how easy this recipe is? Okay, let me tell you. First of all, I'm gonna do mine slightly different than what she did it, but basically her recipe calls for 2 pieces of white bread, and you're going to take the crust off. You're going to need some ham, you're going to need some mozzarella cheese, and she also, I've seen her put mayonnaise and mustard, and then I've also seen her do butter and mustard. So I'm gonna be doing the butter and mustard today. Also, I'm gonna be using spicy brown mustard. I just like that one regular than the regular French's mustard. And when she cooks it in a skillet, and she uses butter, but she uses clarified butter. And clarified butter is, of course, you have to melt the butter, and you basically take off that layer, and it's like that white filmy layer kind of thing on the butter, and that's how you clarify your butter. Then it doesn't burn. But I'm just using regular butter in a skillet, just normal, and I'm just gonna watch it, make sure I don't burn it, and see how it turns out. So stay tuned. Okay, so I am using Mrs. Bear's bread since we live in Texas, and I'm going to just start off by taking off the crust. You can take off the crust after it's cooked, but I have seen her do it before and after, so I'm just going to do it before. And that's my dog making all those noises again. So let's take off the crust, and you can use the crust maybe if you wanted to make breadcrumbs or something like that. I'm just going to take it and put it off to the side. And so I have my 2 pieces of bread here, real easy, nothing hard. And then I have some butter. Now you want to make sure your butter is soft. So you need some softened butter. And we're gonna add, this is probably about a tablespoon of butter, and I'm gonna add probably about a tablespoon of, this is regular mustard, spicy brown mustard. Can you use Dijon mustard? Yeah, you probably could use Dijon mustard or regular mustard. but I like the spicy brown. So we're mixing it with that butter. You know Julia with the butter. And I am now going to just spread it on the bread. Easy, nothing hard. I think that spicy brown mustard is really gonna liven it up too. And like I said, this recipe kind of reminds me of just a grilled cheese sandwich, but leave it to Julia to take a regular ham sandwich and make it into something really yummy and French too. All right. So then I have my ham. Now I'm just using stuff I have in the refrigerator. So if you want to buy really good ham, you can buy really good ham. This is uncured ham, deli style, in a package. I'm going to be using 2 slices. And this does stick out a little bit, so I will be trimming that off. In fact, let me do that now. And it calls for mozzarella or mozzarella cheese. So we're gonna be using mozzarella cheese, and I don't have it by the slice. I'm just using this shredded one because you do want it to melt anyway. And I have this in the house, so this is just what I'm using. Okay, so I have that cheese there. And then I'm gonna do another layer of the ham. Just like that. Cut off the end again. And then I'm gonna place the bread on top. You're making a regular sandwich here. And she always says to press down with your hands. So of course, make sure your hands are clean and press it down because you really want the cheese to mix in with that ham and then the butter. So we pressed it down really well, okay? Let's see, trim a little bit off here. That looks good. All right, so now let's get to the skillet. So I have a non-stick skillet here. I'm turning on the flame to a kind of like a medium flame. I'm going to use a tablespoon of butter. I'm going to melt that in the pan. Oh, by the way, you can also use Gruyere cheese. That would be a good cheese to use for this sandwich. So get yourself some Gruyere cheese. But you could also just use mozzarella or mozzarella cheese. All right. Want to heat that up. Make sure that butter is melted. And you do want the pan to be hot. You can see that the butter is starting to sizzle a little bit. And then I'm going to add my sandwich. I have a spatula here. I'm going to press down. Now what you want to do is you want that cheese to kind of ooze out on the side a little bit. So when you see it's oozing out on the side, that's how you know it's pretty much done. And don't forget, she used clarified butter. Mine is not. See, so that color, it should be a little bit browner than that. So I probably flipped it a little too early. That's okay, I could flip it back. And you really want that cheese to be you want it to melt. You want it to kind of ooze out. Okay, let me see how this side is now. Okay. So you can flip it a couple of times. See, that's more of the color. Hopefully you can see that. Starts to get a little brown here and there. And I can see my cheese is starting to melt, starting to ooze out a little bit on the side. And this goes 1, 2, 3. There we go. See that color? That's what I'm looking for. Right there. Can you see that? That looks really good. And that is it. How easy is that? I'm gonna take it off, put it on a plate, and we're gonna cut it up. Okay, so here's my sandwich. And you can cut this in at a diagonal, and you could even do little tiny bites. You could even do this as an hors d'oeuvre if you wanted to, but I'm just going to cut it diagonally, just like that. And look at that. Yum. Can you see that cheese there? I cannot wait to take a bite out of that. Okay, I added a little parsley there, make it look pretty. And now for the taste test. Let's see, Miss Julia. That is yummy. That is so simple to make. It's super, super yummy. The mustard with that butter, oh my gosh, goes really, really well. Julia Child was a genius. Very good. Thank you so much for joining us on Happy Healthy Living. And if you want that homey vibe, you need to subscribe. What are you waiting for? And please give this video a like. And until next time, my friends, happy healthy living. Bye-bye. Yum.